Hey y'all, it's Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. Today I'm participating in the Whimsy Stamps, it's right behind me, isn't it? Hopping giveaway. Each stop in the hop is sharing a project featuring the Whimsy Stamps Slimline Cityscape die set right here. Plus each of us will be using other products that we'll cover throughout our videos. So be sure to hop along to each stop in the hop for a chance to win a $25 gift card to Whimsy Stamps. And of course it's sponsored by Whimsy Stamps. This is the card I'm going to make today. It's kind of an apocalyptic kind of scene with the scary clown, and it's going to be 5x7. So here are my cardstock pieces, and the clown is the creepy clown Sleep Tight, as well as this beautiful cityscape die set. Now you can see that it's sized for a slimline, but you can really use it for anything, and it has all these great features. 5 vehicles, 2 planes, 6 clouds, the cutout for the city, as well as all the window bits and the road. So it's super cool. You can make so many different scenes with this, and I really had a good time. So I cut mine out of essentially slimline because I'm making a 5x7, so it's a big card. This right here, I'm adding I want to say twisted citron. It's not that, it's squeezed lemonade, because that will be the light shining through all the windows on my big city. And here I'm using my VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink to create essentially the asphalt. And then I take what's left, that residual ink on my brush, and I'm also picking it up off of my work surface just to make kind of a silhouette out of these buildings. And then I poke out all the windows. Just poke them all out. And then I trim it all down to size. So once I trimmed my road though, I ended up having a road and a hill. So finished ink blending on that, and then I have an extra piece to create my cityscape scene with. And then I have this piece of plastic from my stash, and I have some pixie spray on the back of it. Now I will tell you in advance, I have too much pixie spray on it, and it sticks, and it ends up ripping my paper. But it'll be covered, and it kind of works in my favor. But I wanted to make this gloomy yellow-green sky, kind of an apocalyptic, that's the word, that's my word for today, apocalyptic. And I have squeezed lemonade, twisted citron, and forest moss. Those are my main colors. And I just lay down the ink, and I go back and forth between the two for just traditional ink blending. And this is my Bristol Smooth panel. Again, it's 5x7 Bristol Smooth. I wanted my ink to blend well. So cleaning up my work surface and just again going back and forth between the colors just to blend it all out. And so I wanted, like I said, that gloom, that haze, and I was liking it, but then I decided, you know what, I want something else to be, because I didn't want the traditional like blue and purple and maybe pink or orange night sky with the black soot around the edges. I just wanted something a little bit different, a little bit more creepy. And that haze, this just to me, it says like a haze. So anyway, I feel like the rusty hinge, that's what I'm using there. I feel like that and the forest moss give it that extra creepy kind of look. Maybe not spooky, but definitely creepy. And so this is where I pulled up that plastic piece, that round circle, and you can see kind of where it tore my paper. And I'm just using my distress sprayer to add some water so that that ink will blend and move onto that white space. And you can see it's kind of bleeding in there and adding a creepy little look. And I also added some shimmer spray. Now I didn't want necessarily the water spots, so I didn't dab it off. I just wanted that shimmer to kind of represent like particulates in the sky, you know. And so here I'm auditioning my pieces, and I love having that hill, and you can see that it's just a little bit darker than my road just because it's further in the background, which I guess in that theory the city should have been darker as well, but it's okay, it's a card. So I pull out my alcohol ink markers. These are my Arteza Everblends, and I just color up all of these little cars and planes and the clouds, and I just keep them with a very neutral color palette, because once I do my clown, you're going to see he's pretty brightly colored, and he's the star of the show because he's what's right behind us. So just coloring them up in some very pale, very kind of neutral colors. So I did that with all the different pieces. And here is my clown. I stamped and heat embossed and painted him with my Brush Marker Pros. You can see the box there in the corner. I did all of that off screen, and then I fussy cut, and I fussy cut, and I fussy cut, but I love it. This is where I'm auditioning my pieces again. You can see that the clown is going to cover up that tear, and just making sure that everything's going to work the way I want it to. And yep, I'm loving that sky. Loving it, loving it. So a little bit of transparency. I put all of those foam tape pieces on my panel, thinking I was going to put my panel down onto my card base. Well, I hadn't done my scene yet. So I kind of fight with the stickiness while I figure out how to put my pieces down, how to build my scene. But it works. It works. So a little bit of resilience there, a little bit of persistence. But I lay down my road, snip off the edges, and then I nestle in the hill, kind of back behind the road. And then again, snip off the edges. And here is where I'm laying down my double-sided tape. And I'm going to layer my city over my windows. Does that make sense? The light in the windows. You see how that yellow is now the light in the windows? You may have understood what I meant from the beginning, so I apologize if I'm being redundant, but there it is. That's my city. So again, auditioning it, kind of fussing and fuffing and getting everything in place, snipping off the excesses of all three of those layers, and then just mounting the whole thing to my card base. I apologize for being off screen a little bit. I just kind of got into the process. And after I fussy cut my clown, I forgot to do the alcohol ink marker in black around the edges. That kind of, it kind of covers up any miscuttings, any of those white edges, all of that. And it just gives a much more finished and a professional look, if you will. So here's where I start to add the details and actually build the scene that tells you that it's an apocalyptic, scary scene. So I have my cars, they're all crashed. I have two heaps of vehicles crashing into each other. And then my clown he's got one plane that's about to go down. He has another one that's crashed into the hill. He's got one in his hand. He's got a car in his hand. Oh yeah, it's kind of crazy. So I add a little bit of Wink of Stella to the clouds just to give them some more of that glitter. Again, kind of that suggestion of particulates in the sky. And then I use my white gel pen for my roads and my hills and all the cards. And then I decide that I want some kind of spooky word in the sky, right? So that's where I took my dies. These are the Bold ABC die set, and I cut out the word eek. I cut each letter out ×3, and then I ink blended them. It's very subtle ink blending. When I show it up close, you'll be able to see. It doesn't show very well on camera, but up close you can see. So I layer 2 of the green, and then I offset to have that yellow shadow back behind, and it makes sense once you see it up in the sky. So 2 E's, a K, and an exclamation point, and then I audition my letters up in the sky yet again. And then I start adhering them all down. And they're wonky, right? They're offset because this is very much like a wonky scene. And everybody's screaming, eek! All the crashed cars, all of the planes going down, the people that are in the vehicle and the plane that he's holding. Everyone is screaming, chaos and mayhem. Here we go. So while we look at the pictures, let me tell you the last details about this hop. So, as I was saying, you want to be sure to hop along to each stop in the hop because Whimsy is giving away a $25 gift card. So, the more stops and comments that you make, the more chances you have of winning that gift card. So, we will be picking one winner at random via a YouTube random commenter. So, you want to be sure to leave a comment on each video. And we will be announcing the winner on the Whimsy Stamps YouTube channel in the It's Right Behind Me, Isn't It? Hop video description box. So you want to make sure that you allow alerts from Whimsy Stamps, and yeah, you just want to hop along and see what kind of wonderful inspiration there is out there. I'm curious to see what all the other creators and makers have for It's Right Behind Me, Isn't It? Because oh my gosh, that can be interpreted in so many different ways. So again, Whimsy Stamps, it's right behind me, isn't it? Video hopping giveaway. This is Nancy, the Handy Scandy, guest designing for Whimsy yet again. Thank you so much, Whimsy, for this opportunity. And until next time, everybody, like, subscribe, comment, all the things, and I'll see you next time. Mwah. Bye.